Reinvention is the key to overcome new challenges and keep growing. Welcome to South Summit 2020. A new networking platform with a revolutionary live TV format to access and connect from any device, anytime, and anywhere. Join South Summit 2020 and multiply your business opportunities.
Good morning, everyone. It's the 6th of October, the first day of the South Summit, and here we are in Madrid. But we're not just in Madrid. We're in Singapore, we're in New York, Buenos Aires, Milan, London, Barcelona, San Francisco. We're more connected than ever this year. Now, we're about to start the education track, but we've got other tracks going in parallel, one being the future of work, and the other one, health and well-being. Make sure you join our prime time this afternoon session, where you'll hear from leaders like Ana Patricia Botín, who will be interviewing Wendy Kopp, and the visionary Audrey de Grey, amongst others. Now, who's the host of this track, education? None other than IE University. And you might say, why IE? Well, apart from being one of the main sponsors today, this is critical for IE because you see, one of our school is entrepreneurship, the entrepreneurial mindset. And while that was a flavor of the month maybe a few years ago, today it is not a flavor of the month. This is not a fad. We're living through so much uncertainty today, and our school is the #2 in the world in entrepreneurship, according to Bloomberg. And we're probably in the top 10 with every other ranking that you see out there. So why entrepreneurship? Why today? Because we're going through a period of extreme uncertainty right now all over the world. And what does an entrepreneur see in uncertainty? Opportunity. So join us as we begin this amazing first day of the South Summit. And what a better way to start than through a conversation with some really amazing people. So I'd like to introduce Johan Brand, who is the CEO of a creative technology company based in Oslo, Norway. He founded Kahoot, which is one of the fastest growing learning brands in the world, used millions of times every year. And Michael Staton. Michael Staton is a partner at Learn Capital, where he has helped lead investments in Coursera, Minerva, and Brilliant. Ladies and gentlemen, join me for this unique conversation. Gentlemen, the word is yours.
Okay, cool. So Johan, it seems like it was not that long ago that you were about to launch Kahoot in Oslo. And you were very, very excited back then about the set of ideas that would guide Kahoot. Sometimes in venture capital, we call that your product insight. And I think that you had a unique product insight that you had developed, and you stayed true to that product insight as the company grew. And for the entrepreneurs that are here today, I'm wondering, how did you develop that insight? How did you stay true to it? And what are the lessons you might have for other entrepreneurs in that regard?
Yeah, and it's fun you say that, because actually I just had a conversation with the current CEO of Kahoot, which was our first proper chairman. And he said, it's funny, isn't it, that we now 7 years later, we're still sticking true to the original concept. A lot of companies definitely go through an evolution, but I would say, and change, but Kahoot is kind of unique in the sense that, yeah, you're right, the product insight we had stayed very true. So for the team who founded Kahoot, we realized that it wasn't predictive technology and smart technology that really was going to change education. What we saw was there was a underutilization of being human in the classroom. So figuring out how to get kids to lean in, how to get the child in the back of the classroom in the front for the right reasons. We realized that you could use technology to facilitate that. You could use game structure. You could use all these things that kids have built into them, play language. You could put that into a context of a learning environment, and you can kind of unlock learning. So we came up with this insight we call making learning awesome. And it's interesting that our product insight wasn't technology, or it wasn't about the curriculum. It was really about a human emotion that would connect both the children, the teacher, the parents, the administration to the core of the mission of the school. And I was really finding kind of the love for education again. So this this became our North Star. And then every technology and every kind of everything we're doing around that was kind of making sure that we're staying true to making learning awesome, which still is the purpose of Kahoot. And I think as a lesson for a lot of the companies we get involved in now out of the work I'm doing is getting people to not look at themselves. When they write the mission statements, you're writing the mission that we are going to be the biggest. We are going to take this, but instead actually looking at what are you unlocking for your user. What are you unlocking in the context you're going into. I think that's probably one of the success factors for Kahoot is that we were completely designed around enabling learning to be awesome, and also that's why Kahoot is profitable outside of the classroom. It's understanding that learning happens in the classroom, and that's where the value proposition kind of had its original purpose. But we, alongside model, is going to first make its money in corporates, and then finding the analogy between what's going on in corporates and classroom. What's the similarities we call from classroom to boardroom? And of course, it's the human being. Is how we interact with each other, how we unlock learning, how we interact with products. The simplicity.
So you found there were a lot of analogies between like making learning awesome and making corporate meetings awesome. Is that?
Yeah, it's completely true. I can tell you that board meetings at Microsoft, they've used Kahoot and has had exactly the same effect as in the classroom. And you know what? One of the main reasons for people is to be seen. That you are in the room, and that the leader of the room, if it's a teacher or if it's other students or if it's your colleagues, they see you. They recognize you there in the room, and you can display that you know your shit or you don't know your shit. But I mean, that's kind of, it's the similarity of being human in the element is very important. Another part of this is, I'm not going to name too much, but it was a News Corp company. They invested heavily in predictive technology, and it was using all the latest stuff, and was replacing the teacher. The whole point for us was the opposite, was to look at how can we get the most out of people in the room. We're shipping all the kids into the classroom. We're paying the teachers. How do you make the most of having all these awesome humans in the room together? How do you make the most going on? Of course, that's making a human connection, a social play around learning. And that's not going to go of age. That's going to be as true as long as we exist as human beings. Being present and seeing each other is going to be a huge driver for learning. And we now know from neuroscience that, social moments are huge triggers for learning, but also storing the learning and kind of putting into context of what you need to do.
Okay, gentlemen, I'm sorry, but we're running out of time. Amazing insights. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so you heard Kahoot. It's not just for kids, also for corporates. And I can imagine that there's a lot of analogies there. Okay, we're about to start probably the most exciting part, which is the startup competitions. Now, I can tell you, I've been doing South Summit now since 2013. This is, many editions afterwards. But I have never seen the quality that you are going to see over the next few days. It's just amazing. So let's begin. All right, our startup competition has several criteria. We're looking for innovation. We're looking for scalability. We're looking for team, viability, and investability. So let's begin. We have a jury that's online, and we have a physical jury. So I'm just going to mention a few of the people that are in our jury today because we have a bunch of people here. But in particular, we have from Axon Partners, Javier Martinez de Lujo. We also have from Ferrovial, Jaime Canosa, talent manager, who's with us here physically. We have from Endesa, Maria Reutz from the commercial department, strategic projects and customer experience, who's here online. We have Michael Stanton from Learn Capital, who's here virtually, as you know. We have from IE, Nacho Mateo, who's here with us physically, Chief of Investor Relations. We have from Telefonica, Susana Jurado, Head of Open Innovation by Academia, who's here with us physically as well. Welcome. And we have from Fundación Santillana, Manuela Lara, who's with us. And finally, from Fundación Telefónica, Luis Miguel Olivas, who's here with us physically and is Director of Employability and Educational Innovation. All right, so our first startup. Our first startup is called Blox. It's represented by Bruno Bertielli, who's the CEO. Blox proposes a radical new approach to how higher education institutions could operate by providing more freedom to the student. From Brazil, join me in welcoming Blox.
Hi, my name is Bruno Berchielli. I'm founder and CEO of Blox, and it's a pleasure to be here today. Can you imagine going to the university and not be able to pick any of your subjects? That's actually how it is for tens of millions of higher education students around the world. This happens basically because the university has the necessity of a positive operational margin, and they're also trapped inside their own culture and mindset, and they doesn't know it could be different. And this results in the universities offering commoditized and interesting learning experience. We had enough with the one-size-fits-all model for education, and that's why we created Blox. Blox is the first full platform to help universities to flexibilize their curriculums, offering the students the possibility to choose his own tracks and learning paths inside the university. And this also manages the professor location, classroom capacity, all within our technology and proprietary algorithm to help the university to be the most efficient possible while offering a personalized track for each student. 2019 was the first year of our operation, and we already achieved great results. On average, our clients have 6% less dropout rate and 20 to 45% increase in the contribution margin. Blox already have clients in all university segments. For example, AAA universities, community colleges, and public universities. Blox has a service model with more than 35,000 students and charge the university according to the volume of students in a monthly fee. As of July of 2020, Blox has partnered with Pearson as a partner to distribute the platform in Latin America in exchange of revenue share. Pearson is a great partner to us and also believes that the future of education will be personalized. We have a very experienced team in the higher education as previous deans and course directors. And our team was also awarded as Entrepreneurs of the Year by Ernst Young, and we have been accelerated by Google for startups in 2020. I invite you to visit our website to know better the product, and it was a pleasure to be here. At Blox, we believe that our choices defines who we are. Thank you so much.
Okay, we heard it, Blox. Questions? Are we going to make life easier for students? Do I hear anybody from the online group or physical? Nacho Mateo from IE, the word is yours.
Thank you, Boris. Thank you, Bruno, for the presentation. Good, very good one. My question is regarding your growth projections and the development stage of your project. Can you give us more information about that?
All right. Thank you, Nacho. Blox already has around 35,000 students around Brazil, which is our primary market. And we have the projections to reach around 200,000 students by the end of 2020.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, do we have another question from the jury?
Thank you, Bruno. I have a question. So there is an increasing need for personalizing, at university, your degree or what you want to do, but also at the same time, students sometimes need some guidance. So how do you balance both things? And is the university somehow guiding, or it's your startup who's guiding students? Because I think there has to be a mixture of both things, personalization, but also with some guidance.
Great question. And we actually address that in two different manners inside the platform. The first one, we give personalized suggestions to each student based on their history and their career goals. Mm-hmm. So we have an AI algorithm to help to minimize the distance between today and his objective. And the other solution that we provide inside the platform, we have the capability to make the students talk to a mentor or a professor in order to get guidance inside a chat within the platform. So they can communicate with a human being if has the need.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, moving right along. Our next startup is called Smartest Learning AG. It will be presented by Mehdi Sharif and Steve Hinsky, co-CEOs. Smartest combines advanced machine learning algorithms with an intuitive user experience to automatically create exercises from school books for helping to prepare for exams. Join me to welcome Smartest Learning from Switzerland.
Hi, I'm Mehdi. Together with Steve, we founded Smartest. We all have been through this. Test preparation is a big part of students' lives. But how do they cope? Surveys show these are their top two feelings, nervous and scared. Because all too often, practicing is boring and demotivating. It takes a toll. Parents hours per week helping their children. Hundreds of million students worldwide, as well as their teachers and parents, deserve something better. This is why we founded Smartest.
Smartest enables students and teachers to create tests from their study material within seconds. Using advanced machine learning algorithms, Smartest automatically extracts the content and creates interactive exercises tailored to what the student needs to learn. You simply scan or upload your document and select the relevant parts. Because the exercises and quizzes are interactive and engaging, learning does not feel boring. Smartest works for nearly all topics and documents. You have all your tests and study material in your pocket and can learn anytime, anywhere. Created tests can easily be shared with others, and our next version will even adapt more to personal learning styles, offering voice assistants like Alexa or Siri. If we look at the competitive landscape, existing education applications typically fall into one of two categories: vertical solutions for specific subjects like Duolingo, Photomath, or flexible, but fairly manual quiz creation solutions like Quizlet or Kahoot. In comparison, Smartest works for any topic and creates the quizzes automatically. As a result, students are 7 times faster and save a lot of time, which they can use for what really matters: learning. Our core team is passionate and competent. With 2 PhDs in computer science and more than 70 years combined professional experience, we have the right people to make this happen. Several of us also